This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Today's podcast is brought to you by Leverage, a new fully featured decentralized futures exchange without compromise. Leverage is a DEX, so you can trade with your keys and sign orders with just one click. And Leverage is fast. Yes, indeed. Leverage is powered by Gluon, a layer 2 solution with the scalability and speed of a centralized exchange and the super low fees of a DEX. That's right, Leverage combines the best features of CeFi and DeFi so you can trade crypto spot and derivatives with up to 100x leverage while maintaining control of your assets at all times. And this month, Leverage are running a trading competition with a $25,000 grand prize that goes to the account that gets the largest dollar value increase over that period. And there's lots of smaller prizes too. Want in? Of course you do. If that's you, go to leverage.io for all of the details. And of course, Leverage is spelled Leverj.io and trade the future of crypto today. And now it's on with the show.
Yeah, boy!
My guest today is Vasja Veber. Vasja is the co-founder of the music tech company Viberate. And Viberate have been building blockchain solutions for the music industry for some time now, and they are positioning themselves as market leaders in the music data sector, and they are about to, or they just have entered the NFT space. All right, well, hey, my man, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So to begin with, Vasja, why don't you just introduce yourself? I'd love to hear a little bit about where you're from, your career path, trajectory to this date, and what you guys are building. How did you first get started?
So yeah, our background is actually in music management. There are three founders of Vibrate. It's myself and my partner Matej, who's also the CEO of the company. And the third one, who just happens to be one of the biggest techno DJs in the world, and his name is UMEK. And Matej and I have been managing him for the past 12 years. And during that time, we were investing quite a lot of money into advertising his profile online. And there was no way for us to find out how those investments paid off in terms of his online popularity. And that's why we said, okay, let's build service that will monitor how many followers DJs have online on various channels. So back then it was Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. It was still MySpace, so it was really way back. And so yeah, we just started as a pet project so we could actually solve our own problems. And this is how we were tracking how different factors influence his career. So like investments into social media or international tours or album releases. And then it just kind of took off. So people started using it. Music professionals found it really useful. So everybody was using it in the electronic music industry. And then we said, okay, let's now create a company. We probably are up to something. And let's just go to all genres. And Vibrate was born. So like I said, the domain is kind of the extra E in the middle. It kind of sounds weird, but it comes from rating the vibe, because we're basically rating the vibe. So we're rating, right now we're analyzing online popularity for 500,000 artists from all over the world. And so that's like covering 80% of the entire music scene. So when I say 500,000, I mean those are all unique profiles. And besides, we also have 160,000 venues in our database, 5,000 festivals, 50,000 music labels. And in normal times, we would have about 500,000 events in our database. But because of the pandemic right now, that section looks really, really sad. And we build our database with the help of our own cryptocurrency, VIP, VIB, so VIP coin. We launched our ICO in 2017 on the spike of the ICO hype, and we sold out a token in under 5 minutes. And then we used the token to reward our community. So the mechanics were quite easy. If you went on a platform and if you start adding content, so if you started adding maybe artist profiles who weren't already in a database, or you were adding events or festivals, whatever we were collecting, you were earning our token. And now you can spend the token to whether purchase our services, or you can trade it on Binance, Bittrex, OKEx, and a number of other services. And right now we are preparing to test out the idea of tokenizing artist gigs.
So, yeah, this is quite interesting, Vasja. So regular listeners to this podcast may not know this, but, you know, way back in the day. So you said you've been managing DJ UMEK, I think the Techno DJ, for the last 12 years or so. So I can go back, I think I guess I was a Techno DJ probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, and in my time I have DJ'd house music, drum and bass, dabbled in hip-hop. So yeah, I've kind of traversed all genres of the electronic music scene. Used to like be a promoter and throw parties here in New Zealand myself. So, you know, I've certainly done my time in the electronic music scene, but I think, you know, it's probably progressed slightly since my early days of raving. But I think what I have noticed, even though I'm not really a participant in the scene like I used to be, I have noticed, you know, that obviously all around the world, the electronic scene and, well, look, you know, live gigs, music gigs in general, but, you know, we're talking about electronic music at the moment. It has been tough times due to COVID, right? It's really tough.
Yeah, extremely tough. So UMEK used to have up to 120 gigs per year. So in the past couple of years, he kind of calmed down. He got married, so he was playing a lot less than his peak years, but he still had about 50, 60, 70 gigs per year. But he hasn't had one for the entire year, and that's the weirdest place to be if you're a live performer. And luckily, he's also a great producer, so he's making a living by selling music on Beatport, getting royalties in from streamings and PRS. But it's been an incredibly tough time for musicians, for semi-pro musicians, or for artists who are only performing artists, not producers. And a lot of people who have been working in the music industry for years now just had to get another job. And it's really sad to see that there's still no light at the end of the tunnel, at least in our part of the world, because we were 100% sure that events were coming back this summer, but it doesn't seem so. So I guess that we're going to have another year without live events. And that's why we came up with an idea to start an online marketplace where artists will have a chance to offer a live gig through an auction of an NFT, and then fans or promoters can bid for their gig, and whoever holds the token holds the right to that artist's live performance or live stream performance, whatever they choose. And they can cash in the token, have the artist play at their birthday when the pandemic is over, or their event, or they can resell the token. So if, let's say, I buy a gig from UMEK for 5 Ether, and then I can sell it to Coachella when the pandemic is over, say, okay, I have the right for this artist to play at whatever event I like, and I know you're interested into booking him. Why don't you buy my token and he'll come play for you? That's the simplest mechanics.
Okay, well, look, Vasja, this sounds quite interesting, and I know you covered this a little bit at the beginning, but I'd love you to just try and explain it again, because I just want to try and understand exactly how all this works. So just talk us through it from, just really a high level terms. So you've got this, it's as a music industry platform, started out as providing kind of music industry data in terms of on, DJs and the different venues and that they would play around the world, right? And then it's evolved from there. You said you've done an ICO and you have a token, and now you're moving into the NFT space. So yeah, just walk us through some of the use cases as to how people can engage with your platform, and use the token. Maybe should we start with first? Let's use the example of music artists, right? From the music artist or the DJ's perspective, how can they get involved, and what are the use cases for them?
So yeah, our long-term vision has always been creating an online marketplace for artists, like Airbnb for musicians. But the problem with creating any online marketplace is the chicken and egg problem, which means if you don't have the supply, you don't have the demand, and vice versa. And that's why we took this problem strategically. So we said, let's first build a database of all musicians and venues and festivals. So we have supply on one side, musicians, and the demand on the other side, promoters, venues, festivals. And then let's offer them a prime service, so analytics service. They could, so that they can analyze how they're performing. They can discover interesting artists, see who's trending, create all kinds of charts. And once they start using the service, it's going to be really easy to introduce a marketplace. So we're just going to connect them with a marketplace feature. So right now, an artist can register an account on Viberate. There's a good chance their profile is already online because, like I said, we have already 500,000 artist profiles that are created by their fans or anyone who wants to participate in our platform. They can claim the profile or they can create it if it's not already in the database, and then they get their own analytics profile. So we're analyzing their online popularity from streaming sites, social media. We're analyzing ticket providers, so we know a lot about the events they're playing in, and that's what Vibrate is right now. So we're just like Google Analytics for artists. You can analyze whoever you want, but like I said, our long-term vision has always been to create a marketplace, and now we saw the opportunity during the NFT craze. So we said, okay, why everybody's selling art, like visual art or audio art through NFTs? Why don't we put some other value in NFTs and offer the artist the chance to create an NFT that's going to hold basically a booking contract? So we're starting the pilot test at the end of April, where UMEK, our co-founder, is going to offer 2 gigs as NFTs. So one is going to be a live gig, which means that he's actually going to travel anywhere in the world and perform. And the other one is going to be a live stream. So let's say you have a birthday party during a pandemic, you cannot have a larger party, and as 10 friends, you can invite 10 friends to your house, and you can have him play an exclusive live streaming gig for your party. And so we're going to put those 2 NFTs on auction, and anyone can bid to get them. And at the end of the auction, the highest bidder is going to get the NFT, and then the highest bidder is going to have 2 options: whether to cash in, so to have him play at his event, or to resell it, which means that if you purchase a gig from the artist for, let's say, 2 or 3 Ether, and then you hold as token, basically you hold the right to this artist's performance until the pandemic is over, and then you contact your local favorite festival, let's say Ultra Music Festival Australia, and say, so I have this booking of UMEK, and I have the rights to his performance, and if you like, you can buy it for me, and he's going to come play at your festival. So the idea is to about the tokenizing the gigs is the idea is that we're gonna make an artist performance a tradable commodity. So if the task goes well, then we're gonna start collecting interest from other artists to see if there's a wide interest of artists to sell their gigs this way. And then the end game is to create a lively marketplace where artists are gonna sell their gig NFTs, and then fans or promoters or anyone are gonna bid for them, and they're gonna resell them in our internal exchange, or have them play for them or whatever. So that's the it's kind of out of the box idea, and it might be a long shot, but right now we think it's the ideal moment to try and see if this works. Because you know how it is. In the NFT world, nothing can surprise you anymore.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And I mean that the NFT space is moving so fast at the moment, and it's that old saying, right? Like when a new industry pops up, it is supposed to feel and behave like the Wild West. That's kind of the point of being out on the technological edge, being on the frontier of pioneering new markets. And yeah, I mean, that blows my mind a little bit that you guys are effectively tokenizing future live performances by DJs, and you wanna make that effectively tradable in a global marketplace.
We see it as buying futures. So right
Right.
now you can use our analytics to find out who's trending, to see, okay, this guy is really going to explode. So where does it's a band or an artist. So let's say this band is gaining attention on YouTube, they're getting plays on Spotify, but they haven't broken the ice yet. And I'm gonna buy a couple of their gigs. Just I'm gonna stock up on their gigs, because I know that when the pandemic is over, they're gonna be superstars by then, and then I'm gonna be able to resell it to festivals or promoters for 10x of the price that I just paid. That's the most ideal use case. But I like it when you said it's a wild west. This is also one of the reasons why we said, okay, let's try to do this, because it really is a wild west, and we know that a lot of people are selling stolen art on NFTs, and we have this advantage that we can verify each artist that's selling NFTs through our platform, because we have a really easy and straightforward verification process. So if the artist comes on Viberate, before they can mint an NFT, they have to claim their profile, and the process of claiming the profile includes us verifying them manually. So they have to put a piece of content on one of the official channels that we track, and this is how they prove to us that they control the artist's social channels, which means that whoever is claiming the profile is associated with the artist, or in most cases, the artist themselves. And this is one of our advantages, is that we can make it 100% sure that whoever is selling the token, the gifted token, is really the artist or the artist's team.
Nice, nice. And well, do you subscribe to, I guess, the narrative then that NFTs are, this really exciting new opportunity that essentially unlocks, a whole suite of new monetization opportunities for creative artists, whether it's a visual artist or a musician or something else. You kind of you see that future playing out.
The thing with NFTs is that a lot of people right now are not quite getting it. So they're auctioning all kinds of physical stuff through NFTs. You don't need a token to do that. And honestly, you don't even need a token to sell a gig. But our idea is to make a gig a tradable commodity. So if you have to hold a proof of ownership, whether it's a piece of art or in our case a gig, and then you can resell it. And NFTs just turn out to be the ideal thing to do that, because it's much easier to resell a gig through NFTs than just signing another contract and transferring the rights to the gig to someone else, just the old-fashioned way. The way it's done now, because people are still doing this. So people, you have sub-agents that let's say have the right to book the artist 10 times a year, and then they resell this right to some other agent or promoters or whoever is interested in the artist gig. I'm sure you know, you being an ex-DJ, I'm sure you know how this goes. But we think that NFTs are just the ideal way of seamlessly transferring those rights.
Yeah, it's certainly exciting times, and look, I saw there was, I'm not sure who tweeted it, but I can probably find it, and I'll maybe see if I can put it in the show notes, because as someone, he put like a tweet thread, a tweet storm on Twitter, and the topic of the tweet storm was use cases for NFTs and crypto for music artists, and basically 31 different unique music, or 31 different unique use cases for crypto and musicians. So I'm not going to list them all now, but I'll list a couple just to give you an idea and give the listeners an idea. So there's everything from payment splits to programmatic licensing, artist identity, publishing DAO, tipping, NFTs as a recording advance, per stream payments, usage and reporting, which is what you guys do as well, NFTs as a patronage, ticketing with secondary market price capture, NFTs as license, non-copyright record deals, on-chain licensing for off-chain rights, music crypto community token. And look, it goes on and on. So it does just demonstrate that there is a brave new world that is really being reinvented around us, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say reinvented, because tickets as NFTs have been around since 2016, I would say. Block Party is one of our partners with Gig NFTs, is Block Party, and they tried to launch a service to sell tickets and NFTs way back, but it just didn't pick up. And you know how it is in crypto. So if there's a tipping point, so if enough of crypto community adopts a protocol or technology, then it takes off, and that's what happened with NFTs right now. But all the cases that you just told are excellent cases for the use of NFTs. The only problem in music industry is that it's so concentrated on a couple of really huge players. So especially in the recorded segment, you have three majors that control pretty much every part of recording music industry in the world. So you have Warner, Universal, and Sony basically controlling everything. And if there's a company, if a company pops up that's becoming bigger and bigger, they just simply acquire it. And introducing any kind of new technology, of any kind of disruptive new model in this part of music, in the recorded segment, is extremely hard, because it's a really traditional industry if you look at it that way. Not the B2C. So the B2C segment is constantly evolving. It's streaming services, Apple Music, everything. But the B2B segment is really traditional. And that's why we said, okay, let's try and find a new paradigm in the live segment, because the live segment is, like we said, it's really struggling. It's been struggling for the past year. There are huge talent agencies that are just going out of business, laying off people, and there's room for innovation right now in this part of the industry.
Fantastic. Well, just as we finish off this part of the podcast, Vasja, why don't you just bring it back to your co-founder, techno producer, and DJ UMEK. Is that how you say it? UMEK? UMEK. So DJ UMEK, so you said that he is going to mint a live performance, right? He's going to mint this as an NFT and then do a live stream NFT as well. So do you want to just tell the listeners exactly when this all happens, and can they get involved? Can they watch it? Can they bid for these NFTs? How does that all work?
So yeah, the job is gonna go live on the 29th of April. And it's gonna be, so the technology is gonna be, the technological part is gonna be taken care of by Block Party. But we are gonna have a special landing page on Viberate that's gonna describe everything you have to do, and it's gonna have the links to UMEK's drop. Besides 2 gigs, he's also gonna tokenize 3 exclusive, never heard remixes of his legendary track Lanicor. This is basically the track that made him. It's a legendary techno track. And so yeah, the Block Party is going to take care of all the tech. And this is going to be a test. So if you get enough interest, enough people to bid on those gig NFTs, then we're going to implement this on Vibrate. So at first, we're going to have an early alpha stage where artists who are interested in selling gigs this way through Vibrate, they're just going to have to register on Vibrate, claim the profile, and express their interest. So say, okay, I'm interested in minting NFTs. And if we get enough of interest, then we're gonna launch the service. So hopefully we're gonna get hundreds of interested artists and create a lively online artist marketplace that's gonna change the industry. That's our simple, straightforward vision.
Well, it's a simple, straightforward vision, but certainly ambitious. Yeah, what are you doing to kind of, I guess, bootstrap that awareness and kind of turbocharge and get it going?
So yeah, we're gonna back it with a pretty hefty marketing campaign. So we have a lot of features already lined up on all the major crypto media. We're gonna utilize UMEK's channels a lot. He has a huge following online. And honestly, right now, if you do any kind of innovative stuff with NFTs, it's quite easy to get media attention, which obviously we're talking right now. That's the proof. And yeah, well, then we just see how it goes. So usually it goes well when we launch something interesting in crypto. In 2017, our ICO went really, really well. But then 2018 happened with the entire crash. But right now we're happy to see that it's picking up, and who knows where it goes.
Awesome. Well, I certainly wish you and the team at Vibrate and DJ UMEK and the crew the very best of luck in all your endeavors, and I'll be watching with interest. But look, let's go to a very quick break, and then we'll come back, and if you'll indulge me, we'll finish off with the very famous Crypto Conversation Hot Take Round.
In today's crypto market, the team at Brave New Coin are the sector's leading builders of custom crypto indices. BNC's powerful indexing engine draws on Brave New Coin's premium data to calculate high-frequency intraday and end-of-day indices for a wide range of index products. BNC's custom indices help you to gain exposure to the crypto assets class and track your performance against the market without having to become a stock picker. Not sure what you need? A Brave New Coin consultant can help you assess your requirements. Contact BNC today to find out more. Are you ready to trade the future of crypto today? Introducing Leverage, a self-custodial decentralized exchange that performs with the speed and features you're accustomed to. Leverage is fast. It's powered by Gluon, a revolutionary DeFi infrastructure that makes DeFi work at scale. It brings speed, transparency, and massive gas efficiencies to its users. Say goodbye to exchange hacks, front-running, Ethereum network congestion, and high fees. Leverage is the future of trading. It combines the best features of CeFi with all the benefits of DeFi. Like William Gibson said, the future is already here, but in this case, it's evenly distributed and completely decentralized. Go to leverage.io and trade the future of crypto today.
All right, we're back, and I'm with Vasja Veber. He is the co-founder of the music company Vibrate, and they are looking to do very exciting things in the NFT music space, which is cool to see. But look, Vasja, I like to finish each podcast with a very quick round of crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Sure.
All right, my man. Just want your quick fire, rapid fire, snappy answers. Here we go. Where do you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multicoin opportunist spectrum?
Well, I used to be a Bitcoin maximalist, but now I just see a lot more potential in other cryptocurrencies, especially different chains like BSC, my favorite right now.
Oh, really? Binance Smart Chain, huh? Nice. I like it. All right. Well, low fees. Yeah, no, we don't want that high gas. All right. Well, Vasja, what would you say is your firmest conviction, crypto opinion?
Yeah, maybe it's a bold one, but I think that the market cap of Bitcoin is going to overtake gold sooner than we think.
Yep, I love that. And I don't think that's too bold. I think it would have been bold 2-3 years ago. Now it is becoming increasingly commonplace, much to the delight of people like Peter Schiff, I think.
Yeah,
But look, Vasja, Bill Gates, he famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So look, if you cast your mind forward, whatever you like here, blockchain, music industry, combination of the two, what does it look like in 10 years' time?
So in 10 years' time, I think the huge players are going to embrace blockchain technology. It still needs a lot of work to do in terms of user experience, to onboard less tech-savvy users. But I think that especially in the recorded segment, all three major companies, Sony, Universal, Warner, are going to embrace blockchain, and they're going to see that there's a lot of things they can do to improve the music industry. And it does need improvement on a number of things.
I can't help it. Let's dig in there. So, the record industry, so you talked about those three big majors, and the reason there's three big major labels is because, well, there used to be a lot more, but, they just kind of got, they just keep merging, right? And, the record labels were very slow in the early days of the internet. They didn't know how to cope with file sharing, even when, Spotify and iTunes came along and kind of gave them a lifeline. They were still even slow to embrace that. What makes you think that record companies will be quick to embrace blockchain?
Well, I think that it's quite simple. They love money, and if they're gonna see a new business opportunity in this, they're gonna embrace it. And there's a lot of use cases, like you mentioned before, and I think that artists are gonna be more keen on releasing their tracks on labels that are more tech savvy and more innovative than other labels on the market. It's quite simple.
Fair enough. All right. Well, Vasja, William Gibson said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people just aren't really aware of it?
Well, yeah, DeFi, quite simple.
Yeah.
People are just not. It's surprisingly small group of people taking advantage of DeFi right now. We're financing our entire operations just by lending money to decentralized exchanges. It's just too good to be true right now, and maybe it's for the better that not a lot of people know about how to make money and DeFi and how to leverage all the advantages and opportunities here. Because once once it becomes mainstream, it's not going to be as attractive as it is right now.
That is probably very accurate. All right, well, we're almost done here, but it's time to get weird, time to zoom out. What do you see as the long-term future for the human race? Do you see dystopia or utopia?
That will be a different question if you asked me about a year ago. It would probably be a really boring one, but now after what happened in 2020, it's 50-50. I don't know. I'm just asking myself this question every day. Right now, it looks eerily dystopian, but I mean, I still have hope for human race and that things are gonna go back to normal as soon as possible. But at the same time, I'm afraid it's never gonna be the same again. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but hang in there. Everything is going to be okay. But if not, well, look, it kind of leads us into the final question, which is finally, what is your favorite science fiction, a book, film, show, or universe? I'm honestly, I'm not a big fan of science fiction, but if I would have to pick one, I would. It's tough one. Interstellar or Matrix. I cannot decide. If there was, yeah, it'll be Interstellar, because Matrix, the first part was amazing, and then they just screwed it all up. Yeah, Interstellar, definitely. Yeah, nice. Good answer. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, when I've been asked this question myself, I have opted for the first Matrix film myself for the same reason that you've identified, because the first Matrix film is just phenomenal, and it still holds up now. It's 20 years old.
And you probably ask yourself from time to time, is this the Matrix or it's real? It made us start asking that question. That's why.
Are we in the simulation? Exactly right.
Yeah. That's why it's so amazing.
Brilliant. All right. Hey, look, it's been a lot of fun to talk to you today, Vasja. And as I say, I'll be interested to see how this all works out. And I'm going to check in on DJ UMEK and see how this all plays out. So in the meantime, tell the listeners how they can find you and DJ UMEK on social media and follow you guys, and where they should go to find out more about what you're building with Vibrate and get involved, get the tokens, what's going on.
So yeah, it's easy to find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only one in the entire world with that name. So it's Vasja Veber, Vasjaveber. And to find UMEK, just simply log into Vibrate, register an account, and then type in his name, UMEK, or just type in umek.si, umek.si. This is his official domain. It's going to take you to his Vibrate profile, and then you can navigate from there. You got everything needed there.
Awesome. Well, best of luck. Thank you for talking to us today, and bye for now.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Hey, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the Crypto Conversation podcast and whatever podcast app you're using. Give us a nice rating in Apple iTunes, and stick around. Lots more podcasts on the way. We are out of here for today. See you real soon. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave